I'm live now, but I'm gonna share. Get it on my channel. Okay, where I can share it. Okay, here we go. Alright, so how's everyone's 2018 been going? 'Cause, I mean, mine, it's been going decent so far. I'm just been going through all the stuff, and there's been a lot of stuff I've been wanting to talk about. I'll talk about this stuff. Maybe I'll edit the title if I talk about other stuff. I don't know, who knows. So we're going to start off. This is a very late video. So at the end of the Extermination miniseries for X-Men, the teen X-Men finally go back to their place in time, and Jean Grey, or Teen Jean Grey, the sociopath, the crazy sociopath bitch who is evil, and I keep thinking about that video I did a while back when I was talking about Marvel Fresh Start. But, where it was like, it was the theme from Psycho. And it's pictures of her. But anyway, so she puts mental lapses on all of their minds so they don't remember the stuff happening, like, they don't remember the stuff in the future until it's already happened, so they don't cause any rift in time. So, one of the things that's also included in the whole thing is that this means Iceman will be going back into the closet, as it's been said. And honestly, so basically, I mean, let's face it, I mean, they can go, and so basically, I might as well just say it. Iceman is back in the closet. He's straight again. I knew that they were only going to do this. Part of me, I mean, I don't know if I really fully knew that they were only going to do this for just a little bit, just to get that crowd, to get the LGBT crowd talking about the comic. Even though there's already people that are gay and lesbian and bisexual and whatever that read comics. Just because you make a character gay doesn't mean it's like people that are gay can, like, that's the character they want to read about. That's not always the case. There are gay people, or lesbian, or bisexual, or whatever, and they read comics of other characters that they like, other characters that are their heroes, that resonate with them. Just because someone has the same preference, or same sexual taste, or whatever, same preference as them, doesn't mean that that's like their role model or something. But anyways, I knew they were only going to do this. Well, I don't know if I knew. I'm going to be honest, because I don't want anybody saying I'm a liar, because I was pissed. I was pissed when they did this. Well, not pissed. I wasn't fully into the comics. I thought it was weird that they picked him to be, that this is the character that's gay. But anyways, I mean, based on a recent revelation, or not a recent revelation, but something I heard a while back, I knew that this, I mean, I didn't know, but maybe I guessed, well, I know now that this wasn't a long-term thing. They weren't going to keep him gay. I will be surprised if they still have writers on the comic, or like moving forward, writing the comics that will acknowledge that, hey, he's actually gay, but is back in the comic. He's gonna probably come out, oh, hello, Underworld Dream. He's gonna come out in a few years, probably soft reboot for people, till they hope you forget about how bad it is. I would say that, except for the fact that I don't even know if they're trying to push this. I don't even know if they want to push this as a woke, gay, whatever. Because of the fact that I heard that there was a writer back in 2008. It was this Asian female writer. This was before they had gone woke. And she did, and this also proves that Marvel can't even keep up with their own canon anymore. She wrote a particular run. I don't know if it was Fantastic Four or one of the X books that had Daken in it, but the way she wrote Human Torch and Daken in a bisexual relationship. And Daken was already introduced as bisexual, so that wasn't an issue on his end. Human Torch up until that point had only been interested in girls. So in this lady's one particular run, she wrote them, and this was supposedly in canon that they had been a thing. But after that, it was forgotten about, or it wasn't acknowledged again. So I mean, part of me, it's like I'm wondering if, I guess they figured like we can't have either they figured we can't have Human Torch be going gay or being gay, or they figured that that wasn't the character that they wanted to have be gay or something like that. It's very weird that they tried so hard to push gay Iceman, but they forgot the fact that somebody tried pushing gay Human Torch just a decade before. I can look up the article if I can find it. But but like I said, he's back in the closet. The way I see it, if they manage to forget that somebody tried to push a bisexual Human Torch, and I guess after it was just written as him just being curious, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But he's back in the closet. There wasn't even really a closet to begin with. He wasn't gay until Brian Michael Bendis pushed it or introduced that whole idea. I mean, the way I see it, Jean brainwashed him into being gay. That's very close to how that comic or that issue is written. She tells him he's gay. Even if you ignore that, there are people who supported this comic or supported gay Iceman, and they thought the fact that she was very intrusive and basically forced his coming out on everybody else, that's not something a friend would do. That's something a sociopath would do. So I mean, there's even people who liked the idea of a gay Iceman or liked the gay Iceman comic, and they thought that that it was intrusive. Friends don't do that to friends. If you have a friend who's gay, you let the person who is gay, you let them come out. You don't go and say, "Oh, I'm going to tell everybody else," or "I'm going to leak it out." You don't do that. That is something that is a part of them. It's not something that somebody can just take. It's like if you have a secret, even if you ignore this whole gay, lesbian, whatever. If you have a secret that is very important to you, a true friend, will not go and spill that secret. That's what it comes down to. Are you still there, Underworld Dream? I didn't scare you off, did I? I'm gonna just keep reading. But the way I see it is in a couple years they'll probably forget about it, and he'll be dating girls again. I liked one relationship I liked that I would be nice if they could re-explore, would be the relationship he and Lorna had, because I think that's cute. Yes, but your video breaking up. Okay. Okay, well, is it working now? Okay, well, real quick, I'm gonna look for that thing, that Human Torch, Daken, whatever. Because I remember reading a thing once saying that there was a writer who tried having them be together. Was it Daken and Wolverine? Wait. Okay. I'm only clicking, I just want to point out, I'm only clicking on the Tumblr article so I can find out what the damn comic is. Daken Dark Wolverine. This was by Marjorie Liu. Yes, okay, you're still here. So this was in a comic. I knew this. I remember hearing about this. And this was never, if they want to say like going woke or whatever, or they want to push a older character as gay, and that they had been like that they were in the closet and they didn't really know fully at the time that they were gay. And if you're gonna say that, well then why the hell was this forgotten about? When was this comic? When was this comic? Because this was only in this one particular run that this writer wrote them as close to a couple. I don't know if they slept together, but they were written, they lived together, and it was probably treated as them being written together. Well, that isn't good. I'm happy that didn't stick because I love Fantastic Four. Human Torch will always be a straight heterosexual man because those are real Marvel. Yeah, but I mean, I'm fine with him being straight too. Because that's what, if you watch, like, I've seen the Fantastic Four 2005 movie, and I think I've seen bits and pieces of Rise of the Silver Surfer, but I've seen the main Fantastic Four movie. I've seen Fantastic Four of the 2007 cartoon. It was Earth's Greatest Heroes. It had a similar name to Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but it was different. And he's always been straight. That's all it's been. And that's all it is. But the point I'm trying to make is they can say that Marvel is like they're trying their hardest to push this. They're trying, so like they want to have more characters, or they want to have at least maybe 2 or 3 characters who have either been straight or it's just their relationship thing hasn't been pushed, and then suddenly they're in the closet now and they're gay and all this other crap. They can say that, but they can say that with the damn Iceman book. Cena Grace can say, "Oh well, like Marvel is the best thing when it comes to representation." Well, even so, like forced representation, even so, they forgot that this happened. They forgot that there was a writer who did this a decade ago. I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm saying it was forgotten about. So obviously, I'm starting to wonder if they even do care. I mean, not about having gay characters, that's not the point, but I mean pushing stuff like this. If they can't even remember that someone tried doing this a decade before. Now it's gonna bug me all day. I need to find out what that cartoon was called. I have the DVD of the complete series. World's Greatest Heroes, that's the one. That's the one right there. The first half was weak. The first half of the show... Wait, there was 27 episodes? Huh, I thought 26 was the last one. I don't know. The first half of the show was a bit weaker, but it grew on me in the second half. But this was the show. And they did this. This was a show. It was to advertise when Rise of the Silver Surfer was coming out. This was made around the same time. Okay, so I think we've done enough talking about I read Ultimate Universe comics and the Ultimate X-Men comics. Class was gay. Even Iceman. Either you like him okay, either you like him or not in that universe, he could have been bi because it's a different universe. That's something right there. More people were supportive of gay Colossus in the Ultimate Universe because it was an alternate universe. They've already like the characters were all like the Ultimate Universe was supposed to be about like different takes on these characters, except for Spider-Man, which was just modern, like almost like a modern day teenage Peter Parker. Um, I mean, I will say that the Ultimate Universe, that a good majority of the characters weren't necessarily liked. I mean, maybe Ultimate Colossus was a likable character. I don't know. Nobody really. I mean, that was fine if he was gay. If that version of him was gay. I tried reading the first volume of Ultimate X-Men back when I had Comixology Unlimited, when I had the free trial of that, and I didn't really like any of the characters. I just like how they do LGBT relationship. They seem to be stereotypical, a perfect couple, or a gender switch copy of what a straight couple is. Orville portrayal of a gay couple. I feel more human. I don't watch Orville, but if they do it a better way than this, then that's great. That's great. But what was I saying? You want to know two gay characters that Marvel had that were loved by all, like everybody liked them. They were great characters, and they weren't characters that were straight and then made gay. They were gay the whole time, and people liked them. In the Marvel 616 comics, Wiccan was gay, plus you could feel bad for him. Yeah, Wiccan and Hulkling. Those were two really cool characters. Those were two really cool characters that were gay. It's like if this really is SJW Marvel, like everybody keeps saying it is. It's so ironic. They keep saying, "Oh, this character is gay and this and this and blah blah blah," but they completely forgot that they had two characters. They had two characters that were great characters, and they were written out. The last thing they had was it was a 2015 comic. It was New Avengers, and I think it ended. They did the typical, "Oh, we're only gonna have 16 issues." So they did 16 issues, and then they ended it. Wiccan and Hulkling, I think, left, and they mentioned something about like that they hinted and alluded that they might be doing a Young Avengers reunion, but nothing came from that, and they haven't been seen in almost 3 years. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? Because you're like saying, "Oh, like we care about LGBT whatever," but you completely sideline two great characters to come from that are gay. They were in a open gay relationship. It's just annoying. And I thought Wiccan was pretty cool. They were not A-list enough. SJW only consider A-list character as one that counts. I don't know about Hulkling, but I feel Wiccan could have been, I don't know about A-list, but he could have been B-list. Because that's Scarlet Witch's son. I think, well, okay, so that's what I said before about Wiccan. That's not entirely true. The last time that version of Wiccan, 616 Wiccan, showed up was the the final issue of New Avengers. However, there was a Doctor Strange comic called Doctor Strange. I think it was Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme. And that one ran for a little bit, and they had a future Wiccan who had gone by Doctor Strange. And future Wiccan was in the comic. I don't know if he was a lead, but I think he was a lead, and he was in the comic for a little while. I don't know. I think that comic ended, so there's officially nothing now with any version of the character. And I think that's a shame. I know the only thing I know of was Kelly Thompson had been doing West Coast Avengers, which I've heard is very random. And, like, I think she's been having some of the other Young Avengers show up in that comic. But I don't know. Okay, so we've talked enough about gay Iceman and all this, or straight Iceman, whatever Iceman. So off to the Heroes in Crisis controversy. Okay, so this is about the Barbara Gordon thing, but there's other stuff too. I don't like hearing the words SJW yet. It's fine. Everyone says it. It's fine. I don't hear the words SJW yet. It's fine. Everyone says it. I don't like saying it. That's fine. I mean, if I don't know, I don't even know if I can honestly. People, whether it's SJW or anti-SJW, there has been so many fucked up, crazy people. Whether it's this or that and this and that. And I'll say this, and then with this new controversy here about Heroes in Crisis, honestly, and it's sure insane, progressive, feminist, far left, that's true. And that's the thing, and then the stuff here with Heroes in Crisis. Okay, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not going to full on say anything bad if they decide, like, if they draw, like, an attractive body or whatever. I'm not saying the comic is making me horny about any of the stuff in the comic. Something I've tried saying before is the fact the freaking comic was advertised as this was supposed to be a comic that was supposed to be going into PTSD and mental trauma. It's supposedly supposed to be a serious event book that goes into mental trauma and PTSD. Yet in issue number 4 alone, there is at least 4 instances of both. I'm not saying it's a girl thing. I'm not saying they're showing off the girls. 4 instances in the one issue where they, like, are showing, like, having a pin-up of somebody or having somebody with this. And I think there was 4 or 5. Let me list them off. There was that cover with Poison Ivy, and I'm not saying, I understand she's attractive. I'm saying if it's a dying body, if you're trying to sexualize a dying body, I don't, it's not an agenda thing. That's fucked up. There's more like umbrella term for a group of people. Yeah. But that's fucked up. You don't take a character, even if it's someone like Poison Ivy, who's very attractive. If she's dying, focus on the fact that she's dying. You don't just draw a very curvy butt, is what I'm saying. So there was that. There was the thing right here with Batgirl, and the thing here where they show her butt here. You could have had her bullet wound enter, exit anywhere on her leg, on her arm, on her upper chest, her stomach. It didn't have to be right there, like by her belly, where she'd have to spin around, twirl around, and show off the butt. So you got that. You have the thing with I'm gonna read that in a minute, Nitro, in a second. You have the thing with Lois Lane, wearing, and it wasn't in detail, but it was like wearing a Superman shirt and a pair of panties. That wasn't that bad, even though it looked kind of like a pinup. You had that. You had Superman in the next, like, frame. I didn't read the full comic, but I've seen the stuff there that people have been talking about. And you have the thing with Superman laying in bed in nothing but a pair of briefs in a kind of pose. Shows, I don't know. Then you have that. And then there was another scene with Booster Gold where it was him, I don't know if it was him and Barry or whatever it was, but you see his, like, it wasn't in great detail, big detail, you see his butt. All I'm saying, I'm not saying anything bad. If they want to have where they draw an attractive body, that's fine. I pointed this out to one guy 20 times. 10, 20 times. I don't give a flying shit. I don't give a crap about the fact that, they did, it's so attractive. I don't care about that. What I'm saying is that you could have done any of this in any other book. You could have done this whole thing with Batgirl in her own book. You could have done the Superman Lois stuff in one of their books. You could have done the Booster Gold thing somewhere else. All I'm saying is the book is supposed to be about mental trauma and PTSD. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Nitro. And you wrote, I didn't waste my time reading Heroes in Crisis. Who did? Who did? Nobody's reading this book. Because Tom King needs to go into therapy sometimes. Some people are insane, showing dying bodies. They did that with Stephanie Brown dead in a sexy pose. I think the Ivy thing was to draw people in by the picture. It was a controversial thing to get people talking about it. And by picture, but when people get close, they start to notice the details and realize that she's dead. Artistically, I know why they design it that way. And that's fine. I mean, honestly, if I'm gonna point out to you, I'm not even mad. I'm not even full on focused about this whole thing that, they were sexualized, or they weren't. And I've made the point that it's supposed to be a serious book, a serious event book about trauma and mental trauma and PTSD. You don't see Crisis on Infinite Earths or any of the other major DC events. You don't see anybody going into detail for those heroes in those books. And if it's supposed to be a book about mental trauma and PTSD, I mean, going into detail of someone's body is the last thing you would do in a book about mental trauma and PTSD. But what I'm mad at, this is what I'm mad at. And I hope I'm not getting too loud, because I don't want to be scaring anybody off. What I'm mad at is the fact that issue 7, based on the cover with Poison Ivy, both of them, because I heard they changed the cover, with that, and then the solicitation, they are making it out to be that Wally was the killer. Because they say by issue 7 that they found their culprit. And then on the cover you see Ivy with her, dying, with her blood drawing a lightning bolt. And I'm like, DC, back off. You've put Wally through all this crap for 2 years. It's been mostly crap that has happened to this character. And I'm saying, I'm trying to be sounding as non-crazy as possible, because I like this character. With that said, back the fuck off. I don't care if you hate this character, DC Editorial and Dan Didio. Please, I'm asking this nicely. Back the fuck off, please. Quit pushing this, unless they're trying to make it out to be this big twist that it was Zoom or Reverse Flash. Then that would explain why she's drawing a lightning bolt. I have to go for now. Need to be back. Need to go to the market. We'll be back soon. Okay, Underworld Dream. And see you later. But that's what I'm saying is that all of this, I did a video on my channel. He has suffered. The character Wally has either died or suffered 4 times in the past 2 years. It's just tiring. It's just tiring when you have a favorite character and he's constantly going all this other stuff. Wait, not only did Harley kill Wally, but Wally's getting screwed over. I understand how you feel when it comes to characters like Wally and Dick Grayson or Miles Morales. Sorry I keep mentioning him. It's fine. I was going to bring him up anyways. I was mainly bringing up what makes me mad about this book. You didn't do anything wrong, Nitro. You didn't do anything wrong. I brought up why this book makes me mad. It's not the fact that they're getting into almost fan service material. It's the fact that they killed off my favorite character in a unceremonious, like a very shitty way. They killed him off in a very shitty way in the first issue of a 9-issue miniseries. I'm not mad if you brought anything up. I'm mad. That's why I was going to bring up why I was mad about the book. Because people will go saying I'm some NPC, HDW, whatever crazy head who is obsessed about weird sexual whatever. And I'm not. I'm just saying when it's a book about, when it's supposed to be a serious book, you don't go drawing character or drawing private parts or whatever in detail. I mean, you don't do that. And the book was alright, and I pointed out, I mean, honestly, I'm almost happy that this issue brought up this controversy, because it just makes this negative controversy, because it's already a shit book. It's already a shitty book. It's already a shitty book. If they kill off a character, let him go out like a boss, how Superman defeated Doomsday, or how Peter defeated the Sinister Six in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. They didn't even do that with Wally. They're still apparently showing. I guess it was Harley after all. Like, is DC? I love Harley. Is DC trying to make me hate Harley now? They've been pushing Harley so much. I'm not even talking about the shit that people were saying that, oh, she overpowered the Trinity. I don't even know if that's true. I don't even care. The fact, like Harley was a likable character in Batman animated series. I don't mind the whole thing, what they did in New 52, that she was getting away from the Joker and was, being her own person. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's like this book, like, they need to chill. If they keep doing crap like this, thinking that someone like Harley fucking Quinn, the Joker's sidekick, who does not have super speed, she does not have powers. Wait, what happened? We were talking about the Heroes in Crisis bullshit controversy, whatever, Tevye. I'll get to that in a second. But Harley Quinn, Joker's sidekick, could take out the fastest man alive. She has no powers. The only things that she has is that she's very agile. She has normal agility, because she was an athlete growing up. And she is immune to most poisons because of the shot Poison Ivy gave her. That is it. That is it. That's all she has. Heroes in Crisis, I had to hold around that train wreck. If they are expecting me to believe that Harley Quinn, dear gosh, this is bullshit. Yes, it is. Like, Harley Quinn killing the fastest man alive. That's what I'm mad at. I pointed out, for you joining in, Tevye, I pointed out that I like Harley animated series. She needs to calm down, use Harley Quinn in a good way, not this Batman oversaturation shit. Yeah, because it's getting tiring. It's getting very tiring. I brought up how 4 times in Heroes in Crisis number 4, 5 times if you count that Ivy cover, there was 4 or 5 times I only doubt Harley Quinn has the potential to kill Wally West. Something feels off. I don't know. I will be surprised if the rest of this awful series makes it out to be that she killed him, or that Wally is the true villain of this comic. It's all a dream, or maybe Reverse Flash is the killer. That's another thing I was saying, is that it would be a good twist, because that's one of the good things I could say about the book. If they go that route, that'd be a good twist, because he has shown up nowhere in this book. So if she was drawing a lightning bolt, she would be doing that for Reverse Flash and not Wally. So it'd be a clever way to do that. And it means Wally didn't kill anybody after all. But the thing I'm pointing out was 4 times in this issue, I haven't read the book. I never will, but I've heard about all the times people brought up in this comic. 4 times in this book, it got into almost fan service territory. There's this scene here with Batgirl getting shot. I pointed out she could have been shot, like the wound could have been entered and exited anywhere. On her arm, on her leg, her upper chest, anywhere where it wouldn't have been an issue. But it had to be right there by her stomach where she had to get up and roll around and then you see her butt. So you have that. You have the whole Lois Lane in a Superman t-shirt and panties. You have Superman the next panel wearing nothing but a pair of briefs, which is already weird right there. I mean, I'm not obsessive about what type of underwear Superman would wear. I would assume he would wear boxers, not briefs, but that's just me. And then you have another scene with Booster Gold, or not Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, and you see his butt. And I pointed out, I don't care. I don't care if it's fan servicey. It's not making me horny. I don't care about that. It's the fact, as I've said a couple times now, it is the fact that it's a book, a serious, supposedly serious event book that is supposed to be about mental trauma and PTSD. You don't put freaking fan service of any kind in a book about PTSD. That's all I'm saying. It didn't really matter in the long game of things. Yeah, that's right. So, and previously we were talking, before you joined in, I mentioned about how Iceman is now straight again because of the end of Extermination, that he is back in the closet because Teen Jean Grey put a mental lapses on the teen X-Men's minds, so that way then, like, when they go back to the past, they don't remember the future, and they only remember the future when those events happen. Yada yada yada. All I know is he's straight again, and this whole making him be gay, whatever, isn't the case anymore. I had also mentioned that it's so weird that they would try pushing that when somebody else tried pushing a bisexual Human Torch back in like 2008, 2009, and it was forgotten about. So I don't know why they try this. I don't know why they try this. It's gonna get forgotten about eventually. Okay, so mention that. The whole Iceman stuff, it didn't really work. Okay, so I'm seeing a related article, and it didn't really matter. Of course it didn't matter. It says there's an article here. He did it. Brian Bendis actually did it. Superman issue 6 final page spoilers. Oh gosh. What did he do? What the fuck did he do? What did he do? It's just gonna be a sidetrack thing before I go to the next thing. Could it be a hoax, a trick, an imaginary story? Today's issue, Superman deals with a series of... Are you fine with spoilers, Tevya? Was this today? Oh no, this was back in December. Okay. I'm son John King Kent, Superboy. Oh, okay, this is old stuff. Oh, this is old stuff. I already knew about this. I thought it was something recent. I thought he did some other bullshit. Oh my gosh, are they... Oh, it's a once... Oh, it's a once monthly thing. For a minute, I was like, are they on break till February? I saw issue 8, and I said February 13th. And then I was like, are they going... I thought this was a twice monthly comic. So I'm like, are they going on break till February? But it's like, nope. Issue 7's coming out January 16th. So, and one person wrote, so I shouldn't rush to finish Tomasi's run then. Okay, that's old news. Okay. So, next topic for today. I think issue 7 comes out this coming week. Heaven have mercy on all of us for when that issue comes out. Okay, so I got to see Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. I want to talk about good things. I don't want to be some negative bitch ass that just talks about negative stuff. Well, last week, okay. Spider-Man into Action Comics was so boring. Spider-Man into the Spiderverse. Oh, Nitro, are you still here? I'm gonna keep going and see if you can reply. Okay, Spider-Man into the Spiderverse. I saw the movie. Um, we had gotten free movie passes, from a friend of ours. Okay, I'm still here. So Positive into Spider-Verse, I agree, was awesome. I'm still here. Okay, Nitro. Alright, so we got free passes. We got to go to see the movie basically for free. The only thing we had to pay for was popcorn and drinks. And just to keep it a secret between my loyal subscribers watching, um usually when you have free passes and you go to the movie theater, there's usually someone waiting in front of the door or whatever, and they take the passes and they rip them. That's to show that they've already been used. The thing is, when we got all the stuff together, we got the drinks and the popcorn and whatever to go see the movie, there was nobody there, and they didn't rip up any passes. So we still have the 4 passes, and I'm and we've me and the family, we've been talking about possibly just seeing other movies with the free passes until they get ripped up. So I hope, because movies are very expensive, but I love going to the movie theater. I love the experience of just going to a brand new movie that has just come out and seeing that before everyone else gets to see it on DVD. And I love that feeling of seeing a new movie. And speaking of this movie, I loved this movie. This was a great movie. This was the best Spider-Man movie I have ever seen. This was better. This was obviously better than Spider-Man 3 and the Amazing Spider-Man films. They actually made a hilarious joke mocking Spider-Man 3, which was hilarious. Um, it's better than that. It's better than Spider-Man 1. It's better than Homecoming, obviously. Dare I say it, it's even better than Spider-Man 2. The only thing that I would say rivals this Spider-Man movie is the PS4 Spider-Man movie that's like 5 hours or so. I agree this Into the Spider-Verse is 10 times better than the actual Spider-Verse event, which I approve. Wow, you were lucky. I wish me and my family did stuff like this. The experience you have felt, and I love this film as well. It's a great film, and I loved all of the characters. I loved the story, and I know people have had issues with Sony and Spider-Man in the past, but that's the thing. I just want to point out now, if this movie right here is one of the good things about Sony having Spider-Man. And I only say that because if Disney had Spider-Man rights or Spider-Man from the get-go, this movie probably wouldn't have ever been made. The only Disney Marvel animated thing they've ever done was Big Hero 6, and that was like a very, very low tier team that was in one thing. Moment with the sequel, we can finally get Spider-Girl, Mayday Parker, the daughter of Peter Parker, and Mary Jane, and they finally made Miles Morales actually good and way better than his actual comic book counterpart. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Has he had any good comics? Has he had like any? I heard originally that the character didn't want to be acknowledged as the Black Spider-Man. He just wanted to be just Spider-Man, which also helps with his secret identity. But then by like 2015, they did a complete nosedive, and then suddenly he wanted to be acknowledged as Black Spider-Man. I don't know. I always had faith that Miles His Ultimate Spider-Man run was really good. Well, that's good. I always had faith that this character, even if the circumstances, if he was made because the writer wanted to be more PC, whatever bullshit, I always had faith that this character could be good and stand out on his own. And the character early on didn't even have any SGW or any whatever, not SGW, but any agendas, any other crap or whatever other stuff. After Secret Wars, his series went downhill real fast. So that's a shame. I mean, until somebody can prove me wrong, I mean, I would almost consider Secret Wars 2014 almost like the series finale of the Marvel Universe, and I only accept certain little comics and certain stuff after that event to be canon, like Charles Soule's Daredevil run, which is very hard to put that all together, considering I just said that 2014 Secret Wars was like a series finale. But I don't know. I've heard from people they really plummeted after Secret Wars. That it was, I don't know. But like I said, I loved something I actually did well. It's the first time has been in film. It's the first time he's been in film. I read all his books until the reboot. Yeah, until the new Mal book. I have a little issues. Okay. Well, I guess this was the first theatrical animated Spider-Man film, unless there's been another that I don't know about. But it stood out really well. The visuals were amazing. Badass Aunt May. I loved that Aunt May, like, that's the character who does, no offense to her, she doesn't really do much in the Spider-Man books, but they have taken this character and they've done like she's like almost like the Alfred now. She has almost like an Alfred sort of role. And I love that so much. I love the scene when Miles goes back to the spider basement cave, whatever, and she's just sitting there drinking her tea and she goes, "Took you long enough." I love that. That was so great. And I loved and I just thought I loved Aunt May in the film. Yeah, she was so awesome. I loved that. I loved that scene made me cry. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. She was cool, and I liked Miles in the film. Um I liked middle-aged Peter Parker. That was pretty cool. I loved that Mary Jane had a role in the film. I mean, at least was in the film, because I love Spider-Man. I mean, I'm not huge into Spider-Man, but I love Spider-Man and MJ, and I love that she still had a minor thing in the film. And I thought Spider-Gwen was pretty cool. I loved the other Spider characters that show up midway, which is like Spider-Man Noir and Penny Parker and Spider-Ham. One of my only flaws with the film is I wish they had done more or had more with those characters. I guess it was almost as if like they had them be in the film long enough so they could they can be in the trailers. But I thought they were cool. I loved the final battle, and one thing I loved about the final battle was that there was a point where, like, the things surrounding that alternate universe machine, whatever, turned the surrounding area kind of red and dark red. And then there was an angle where you see, I think, the Brooklyn Bridge. And just, I mean, I'm not saying it's a full-on shout-out to Daredevil, or the Daredevil opening. But it was very, like, the colors and the bridge being there, it reminded me so much of the Daredevil opening. And I thought that was pretty cool because Kingpin was a villain in the film, and he's also, I understand he originated as a Spider-Man villain, but I liked that that was something that he was in the film, and he was also in Daredevil in season, all the seasons and stuff. And I am excited for a sequel. Prowler was an awesome villain. Yeah, he was. That was pretty cool. So, and it was a pretty good film. He was really scary. Yes, he was. Some person claimed that, and I don't want to go full on into negative stuff. I find this humorous that this asshole said this. Someone said something that Dan Slott seen the film, and that when they revealed the perfect, like, Peter Parker, and Noir by Nick Cage was really funny. Yeah, he was really cool. That when they revealed, like, in the scene where Spider-Man, or the first Spider-Man, the one who's, like, perfectly perfect and got married and stuff, when he dies, you see part of the mask, and then supposedly Dan Slott said that, why the hell does Peter Parker have blue eyes? Like, he's supposed to already have brown hair and brown eyes. Why the hell does he have blue eyes? And then he takes the mask off, and he's blonde. And then Dan Slott said some bullshit like, oh, I totally get it now. This is the perfectly perfect Spider-Man. So obviously he would have blonde hair and blue eyes because he's perfectly perfect. Because it's like almost like he would be like almost implying that he's more attractive or whatever with blonde hair and blue eyes. And I'm like, you mean to tell me that main universe Spider-Man with brown hair and brown eyes isn't attractive? I'm not saying that's attractive to me. I'm saying that it's just, I don't know. That's just he's just salty. He's salty because of the fact he doesn't have his shitty Spider-Man comic anymore. He got off of that and is writing his whatever bullshit. He did some bullshit in one of the Fantastic Four issue when Ben and Alicia got married, that Ben wouldn't allow Spider-Man at the wedding. I think it's a homage to Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider, yeah. Well, even if it wasn't, I thought it was like, I think it was a good way of indicating that things are gonna go, like, this isn't main universe Spider-Man, because there's never been a main universe Spider-Man or main universe Peter Parker with blonde hair and blue eyes. So I figured, like, it would be a way to throw off, because everybody knows that Peter Parker has brown hair. There's been all the movies with him with brown hair. So it's like, it was a way to throw people off, like, okay, so what does this mean from here? Does this means like, oh, the Spider-Man we've seen in the trailers, he's going to show up later. Okay. I hope we get a Daredevil film, a reboot film, if Sony does the animation. It's Ben Reilly, homage to him. I love Scarlet Spider. A Daredevil, I would love, you want to know what I would love? I would love a Daredevil animated series. I would love a Daredevil, either the Netflix show to come back, and I would love an animated movie. There is so much you can do with this character. He has over 600 comics. You can either take from that or do an original story with Daredevil. But it boils down to the fact that Kevin Feige just doesn't give a fuck about Daredevil. If he did, Daredevil and the other Marvel Netflix Defenders would be in the movies. But he didn't care. He passed them over. Apparently, back in 2012, he offered Daredevil, offering up Daredevil back to Fox in exchange for Silver Surfer and Galactus. And that Fox 20th Century Fox would have Daredevil back, but they would have Silver Surfer and Galactus. It doesn't make any sense, because I heard that Marvel had the rights to Silver Surfer, but not Galactus. I don't know. Apparently 20th Century Fox rejected the offer, and they ended up keeping Daredevil. But I want to see more with Daredevil. I find it very crazy. Even in the Disney XD cartoons. I know they're not the best, but you don't even see any of them in those cartoons. Like, not Avengers Assemble, not the new Spider-Man. And it really pisses me off. There's been really... Scarlet Spider Fantastic Four is really good right now. That's just my opinion because of finally a wedding that actually happened. Yeah, they got married. No bullshit happened. I find it very weird that many people, I'm not fully into, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not fully into Fantastic Four, so it doesn't full on bother me, but other people said that they found it very weird that Ben wouldn't have Spider-Man or Peter Parker there at the wedding because they're supposed to be old friends. And the way the whole thing was treated, it was just Dan Slott being salty because his run of Spider-Man wasn't longer than Chris Claremont's run on X-Men. That was the only reason why Dan Slott stayed there so long on X or on Spider-Man. Nick Spencer's running Spider-Man. He brought Mary Jane and Peter back here together. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm glad that they're mingling again. Nothing serious like marriage or anything, but at least, hey, they're dating. Maybe we can maybe once they can connect enough, maybe they can remember that they were once married. That would be great. Yep, in this movie also Mr. Dora Spider-Girl made a Parker because that'd make me so happy. I think that was the opposite, but I understand where you're coming from. I think, like, from a perspective, I think he didn't want, like, Ben as a character wouldn't want superhero bullshit happening at his wedding. I think, felt like he still would have invited Spider-Man. Yeah, Dan Slott was on Spider-Man for way too long, and thank God he's finally off the book. Yes. Yes. And then I had to deal another thing. And I want to point out now, I veer more towards anti SJW. I'm pointing that at, or whatever. I wish Kevin would be nice to the Earth fans, give them what they want. I love Fantastic Four in the MCU. That would work. As I don't want to see the MCU have the X-Men there. I always figured if they're gonna do X-Men, that X-Men will be in an alternate universe. That's the only easy way they could have mutants. Is just say like, hey, there's an alternate universe where there's only mutants and humans. Fox is not good either. Well, I mean, Fox did that Ben Affleck film, and that wasn't really good. I heard the director's cut was the only thing that saved it. So it's basically a lose-lose situation. If we're talking about the deal that Feige made with Fox, they would have had Galactus back, and they apparently already had Silver Surfer, so he would have done Silver Surfer, and Silver Surfer probably would have been in Infinity War. So I wouldn't say it's a full lose-lose situation. I'm glad it didn't happen because we have the show, we have the Marvel Netflix show. Okay, so, and it's the thing here, I veer more to, I wouldn't even say I'm fully anti SJW. I just want good stories, good comics. That's all I want. And Yellow Flash 2. This is somebody who, in the past, has gotten facts wrong about stuff. He had a fact wrong about the Sam Alexander Nova, saying that he stole the Nova Corps helmet or whatever, even though it was his dead dad's, and it was given to him. So I'm not gonna play the video because I don't know if it would get copyright or whatever other bullshit. YouTube copyrights anything nowadays. To be fair, Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool was awesome, and Logan was amazing. As for Dark Phoenix, that's top for another day. Yeah, that Daredevil is a guilty pleasure for me. I loves to see Infinity War Yellow Flash. I love his videos, and I mim him. If you can correct that statement, that's fine. Or correct. I don't know what mim him means, or mimic him. I don't know. So he did a video saying that the Into the Spider-Verse sequel is all wow, man. Even though it's not the sequel, it's the females. They've confirmed 2 films. It's been awesome. I'm so pissed off that show got canceled. Yeah. But I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know how much of a delay there is between what y'all are seeing and what I'm doing live. But he did a thing, and it says about that it's wow, man. Even though it was the female-led spinoff female-led spinoff, not the sequel. Probably delayed by maybe 30 seconds or a minute, maybe. Not too bad. And he goes and he says in the video that, or that I didn't watch much of it because I just, the title alone pisses me off because there has been nothing said. I understand that this is the same company that did Ghostbusters 2016. I understand that. The point is the fact that, other than the fact that the movie was announced, he's a YouTuber, Mim Headroom, he's a funny and retro YouTuber, he's also anti-SJ. Okay, that's fine. Other than the fact that this film was announced as a female-led spinoff, there has been nothing said that it's going woke or agenda or whatever. It's just a female-led team-up movie. There has been female teams in comics before. You have Birds of Prey and you have A-Force. I think Excalibur, was, I may be wrong, I think that was mostly women. No one said any of this crap 20 years ago that it was agenda. It was just a female-led team. So, I mean, there's nothing yet to say that this film is going to be female-led. I mean, that it's obviously going to be female-led. There's nothing yet to say that it's going to be agendas or whatever else. As long as you get good people working on it, like you did with the first Into the Spider-Verse, it's fine. It's crazy. It is crazy. But, and it made me frustrated. It's like, I think both films, I'm excited for both films. I would love this, honestly, based between this, I agree until I see a quote agenda in the film, I will wait until it gets a good score. I love the first one when I saw it. Personally, want a good movie or anything good with comics these days, and with no pointless gimmicks. But what I was saying was about with honestly, and what I would love, I love this film so much. I would love to see an animated universe, an animated Spider-Man universe, or at least have Into the Spider-Verse be a trilogy or something. Because I know this. If Disney gets the rights to Spider-Man back from Fox, you can kiss this film or the future of these films goodbye. Because Disney only uses Marvel for their live-action movies and those very poor-looking cartoons on Disney XD. They do not. I wouldn't mind it. Fox, you mean Sony? Sony, I guess. I don't know if I misspelled or mispronounced. If Disney would talk to Sony or whatever. No, I meant Sony, who has the Spider-Man films. Spider-Man is, the film rights are still, it's like a joint thing right now between Disney and Sony. Yeah, those cartoons are really bad. I'm willing to give Black Panther's Quest, the Avengers Assemble season, a chance. It didn't look the best, but it wasn't boring. That's something. Sony has the Spider-Man rights. That's what I was saying. And that's what I'm saying, because Disney, and that's what I keep saying. If Disney had the rights to Spider-Man the whole time, there wouldn't be any Spider-Man animated movies. Past 2011 or 2012, any of the Marvel 2D animated films, they haven't done any more of those. I think this whole Marvel Rising, Secret Warriors, whatever, this was the first animated film, or the first animated film by Disney Marvel. I think it's the first one that they have done, and it's the first Marvel-owned whatever animated film since, I think the last one was Thor Tales of Asgard, I think. I may be wrong. So, honestly, I didn't hate one of the cartoons he's made because it's funny. I know people didn't like it. I don't hate the cartoons. I don't hate the Disney cartoons. I don't know. I wish they could be a little bit better. Or the Disney Marvel cartoons. Which one did you like, Nitro? Um, but I mean, and the movie has such a distinct, like just the picture right here, has such a distinct style, and it's just, yeah, I'm back. What's going on? We were talking about Into the Spiderverse, Underworld Dream. Yep, and like I said, it has such a distinct style, and it's just really, it's really nice looking. It has great plot. Everything about it is great. And I mean, literally, the only thing Disney, any of their studios have done with with any of the Marvel characters was Big Hero 6, which was this very little, they had one, I think, mini series in the 90s, and that was it. Yeah, Spider-Verse, I'm happy that post-credits scene showed us Spider-Man 29. Yeah, I love that too. I guess that means he'll be in the sequel. And it was a funny post-credit scene too, where they showed the I thought it was genius, the fact that Spider-Man 2099, the Spider-Man from the future, goes to the Earth or goes to the universe of the oldest Spider-Man cartoon, which was the 60s cartoon. Somebody claimed, I don't know if this is true, somebody claimed that J. Jonah Jameson's cameo in the film at the end, in the end credit scene, that he was voiced by Stan Lee. Somebody mentioned that. I've listened to that clip a couple times, and I can't tell if that's Stan Lee doing the voice. It's the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, and a lot of people hate that, have that show, and a lot hate the show, and a lot of shit. At the end of the day, it's yes a part of the MCU, but me and my friend helped me work on a storyline. I don't think he was. I don't know if that was him or not. Somebody mentioned so. None of I mean, if you wanna make Ultimate Spider-Man into like the MCU or write a fanfic story, that's fine. I don't think there was anything. Honestly, none of the Marvel cartoons are connected to the MCU. I heard there was one statement once that they were considering making animated cartoons that would take place in the MCU, but I don't think anything really came from that, or had come from that. Yeah, I don't think that was Stan Lee either, but somebody mentioned that it was, and somebody mentioned that it was actually Stan Lee's dream to actually play J. Jonah Jameson since the 80s, and I don't know if that's true either. But anyways, but at least, I mean, honestly, from what, like, the 20 minutes I've seen of Homecoming, honestly, I just like Spider-Man PS4 and Into the Spider-Verse more. I mean, that's Spider-Man, that's Spider-Man to me. Even as someone who I kind of used to be kind of a super fan of Spider-Man, and I can just, it's mixed with me. I mean, I still watch stuff with him. I don't know. Personally, if you want a good Elton Spider-Man adaptation, I think this is the movie. It's the best adaptation into Spider-Verse, 10 times better than the awful Ultimate Spider-Man TV show. I agree, Spider-Man PS4 was really good. Honestly, to me, they still have a chance with Miles in the MCU since they haven't shown him yet. But to me, PS4 Spider-Man was the Spider-Man we should have had in the MCU. Because he's just, I don't know, he has more integrity. He just seems more like Spider-Man to me. And Spider-Gwen was fun too, yes. They were all fun characters in the movie. And this was just great. And surprisingly, while we're on the topic, I'm about to finally get on the last topic I wanted to talk about. Surprisingly, and I don't know what this means moving forward, Marvel Future Fight, I miss Stanley, I'm happy he made all of us smile. Yeah, he was such a great soul, such a great person. And I was stunned. I mean, it took me a while to process that he was gone, because first I didn't feel too much. I was up. I mean, I was like, wow. At first I was just surprised. I was just surprised that he passed away. And I didn't get, if I'm going to be honest, I didn't full on get very sad about it until that idiotic waste of space Bill Maher said what he said about Stan Lee. And I was like, you don't say that about this man helped inspire a lot of people with these different, especially with Spider-Man. And it just, and I just, that's where I was so mad and so upset that that happened. And the stupid I'm gonna go out on this, the stupid fucker tried to make a man's death, a man who inspired so much of the world, some political whatever bullshit, saying that people who take comics seriously were the reason Trump won the election. What the hell? It's just, I don't know anymore. What I was going to talk about next was that I liked, one thing that was amazing was that Marvel Future Fight added a new costume for Miles, and it's his costume from the Sony movie, Into the Spiderverse. This is the first costume that is from a Marvel movie, that isn't from a Marvel-made movie. This is from the Sony animated movie, and I thought that was pretty cool. I thought Brie Larson also said something stupid about Stan, along with Armie Hammer crapping on Stan. And screw that guy you're talking about, he is a jerk. Okay, so I'm going to point out now, I'm not a fan of Brie Larson. I think that she needs to work on her acting. What she didn't say anything bad. I've seen the Instagram post. She said about how we'll miss you, Stan Lee, what a legend, and it's a picture of her, and it's a selfie or whatever, and it's a picture of her, and yes, the clothes were a bit too fancy for someone taking a selfie of them mourning, but she held up like a wine cup, like as if it was raising a toast to Stan Lee. And she didn't do anything. Armie Hammer was the one doing whatever, judging people about how they were grieving. People grieve in different ways and stuff. I love his costume, I agree. Oh, that was sweet. Yeah, that was sweet of her. Despite everything, I'm not saying anything bad about her in particular, other than the whole, she needs to tone down this whole man-hating crap. She's I don't know, she's a mixed bag. I don't even know if she's a man-hater or what the deal is. That was, if anything, the people like Bill Maher is the person responsible for Trump getting into the White House. Stan Lee and people like him give escapism and hope to the everyday man. You want to know what makes Bill Maher such a hypocrite? Do you want to know? It's the fact he said all this shit. This is lovely. This is lovely. More people should tell him this whenever he brings up bullshit like this. That's just how much I love this. He said all this crap about comics. I'm going to have to probably end the stream soon. I wanted to talk about Young Justice Outsiders. I guess I'll have to do that later. And he said that all this crap about politics, or not politics, about comics, how like, oh, people are stupid if they're blah 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 blah. And yet he had a cameo. It ended up being a deleted scene, but he had a cameo in Iron Man 3. He's such a hypocrite. He's such ever. Okay, I saw some from Michael Curtis's channel where he said about her and Captain Marvel, but I hope that wasn't Photoshop. As for the whole Trump nonsense, let's keep politics out of it. I only brought it up, Tevi. I only brought it up because of the whole thing. That this was stupid shit. This shows how much of a stupid moron, stupid egotistical moron Trump is. Or not Trump, stupid egotistical moron Bill Maher is. That's the only reason why I brought it up. I will say, and that's the thing, on my channel, when I talk about stuff, I like talking about fun stuff. I don't like politics. I don't have a political opinion. I will say though, that's why I've made this statement before. I am hashtag neither. I don't support Donald Trump. I don't support Hillary Clinton. I don't like either of them. Trump can be kind of a funny guy. Trump can be kind of a funny guy sometimes, but he says some very dumb shit on Twitter. He went and he said the stupidest thing I've seen. One of the stupidest things I've seen that he said on Twitter. He dared ISIS to attack us. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not talking about him, and I'm not talking about the she-demon from hell. I'm not talking about either of them, because I do not like either of them. Okay, you and me both, man. I agree and understand with what you're saying, man. I support you. Honestly, there should be a third group of political, like a third group of political people. People who aren't political. That should be a group. Because if that was a group, I would be in that category. Because I just don't give a fuck about politics. I don't care. I just don't care. Real quick, before I go to the last topic, I'm going to have to hurry like hell on this last topic. Darn it. Well, there are independents. I guess then I would be an independent then. I don't know. Into the Spiderverse. I'm going to have to hurry. Yep. Part of me wants... I just don't care anymore. Part of me wants this movie to outbox office Homecoming. Only 234. Oh no. I don't think it might make it, but it's animated. I only bring it, I want to have it as a way to own Armin from Comic Book Cast 2, because he said he has, his logic is literally, if a film performs really well at the box office, if it makes millions, like billions at the box office, then it's considered like a amazing film. Like, because he said that with Last Jedi. It did make it tons of money. It says it's 200 million. I was just hoping it would outbox office Homecoming. Because then by his logic, by Armin's logic, it would make this movie the Sony Marvel film, the Sony Marvel animated Spider-Man film, to him, by his logic, it would make this better than Homecoming, the Marvel-made film. I mean, 234 mil isn't bad. It made its money back. It made its money back and more. I just was really hoping it would be, like, it would make 800 million, but it's animated, so I don't know if there's, has there ever been an animated movie to make it in the 1 billion club, or $1 million box office club? That's something I should look up. I don't know if, other than, like, Disney, oh yeah, Disney got, like, Frozen and Incredibles 2. Okay, I'm gonna have to be quick about this because my tablet could go dead at any time. But, I think Incredibles 2 did it. Yeah, that's one I just listed off. Okay. I saw the first 3 episodes of Young Justice. I know about Armin, used to love him, yet he isn't worth talking about because, back out that. I was trying to click on that tab. He loves Miles. Isn't worth talking about because he loves Miles Morales. He told everyone to support the character. I also kind of look up. I also kind of look up to the guy with that. I mean, honestly, the only SJW, whatever recent diverse character, the only ones I haven't given a chance because of the horrible stuff or horrible backstory I've heard about them is Riri Williams, Teen Jean Grey, and that America Chavez. Those are the only ones, really. I heard Teen Jean Grey is thankfully dead. I wish. But she's gone now. Riri Williams, I heard, is finally getting a writer that's making her a likable character, so at least that's something. It's still going to take at least 5-6 years to get people to forget about that she started off as a horrible force of nature. A horrible character. And America, I don't even know what they're doing with America. I personally love Miss Marvel Kamala Khan. Usually I just ignore the stuff because then people say about, white supremacist, like she's a white supremacist. I'm like, she's just this, I've seen like the stuff in the animated stuff, and she's just this lovable fangirl. I don't even know white supremacist, I don't even know if it's white supremacist or if she race, I don't know. I can't keep up. It's like something subscriber I'm subscribed to called Queen Blaze. It's something she said once. It's like, I'm keeping up with you. Oh, okay. I'm making sense now. Yeah, I don't get that vibe either. I don't know. People say that only the first 2 arcs of her comic were amazing, and then after Civil War II happened, it just became more agenda filled, and I don't know if that's true. I don't know anymore. Sometimes I think with a couple of these writers, I think it could be that the people saying that they're putting politics in the comics, it could be that they just don't like them as people and whatever. I also left a bad taste in my mouth. I like him at first, but no longer. I can't even think of any interesting storyline after his creation. And I don't know if G. Willow Wilson, I'd have to read some of these comics by her before going if she ruined Miss Marvel or Wonder Woman. I do like the new writer that's going to be... I think the new writer on Kamala Khan's book will be good. Okay, Young Justice. Young Justice now. Just enough about Marvel and their crap. We're talking about DC and Young Justice. Alright. I'm going to have to hurry. I loved these 3 episodes. I watched all 3 of them at once with my sister. And then after that, later on, and this was yesterday when I watched them, obviously. And then I watched all 3 again. And there was stuff that on the rewatch that I missed the first time. When they showed Beast Boy, and he talks about like all the kids and teenagers being kidnapped by human trafficking or whatever. And at the very end, there was some tagline saying, "It's what you know." I didn't catch it the first time, but it's a reference. It's a reference to that. The more you know, I need to find that real quick. I'm hearing they put some woke stuff in it. In what? In Young Justice? There wasn't anything woke. Unless you're talking about one of the comics. No, don't mention to that. Okay. It's a meme. They referenced the meme. Are y'all talking about Underworld? What Underworld Dream is saying? I'm just I thought it was funny. This the more you know. I thought it was a funny reference. It reminded me of the more you know. So there was that, and let me see what else. I caught up on some other stuff, but I love that meme. Yeah. So it reminded me of that. I'm like, that has to be a reference to that. Because it's just, that's such a well-known meme. But I loved, we were talking, okay, that's fine. I loved, like, I loved all of that. It's just, I like the whole thing that it's kind of focused more on Nightwing. I mean, I think this is probably the first thing we've had with, like, a good take on Nightwing, and something that focuses on Nightwing. Um, Titans is okay. It's kind of, it's at times it can be rough to get through. So I hope they can move past their dark, edgy shit. Because there's only, I mean, I can handle dark, edgy shit or serious shit, but there's only so much I can take. Surprisingly, that wasn't a problem when I watched BVS Ultimate Edition. I didn't mind that movie. I know everybody else and their grandma hated it, but I didn't mind it. Now I wish he had a cartoon. Yeah, he was awesome. I like the idea that Kaldor is now Aquaman, but it also raises the question: what happened to Arthur Curry? What happened to him that would be so bad that Kaldor would be taking up the role? And then now the season 1 Roy, who ended up being the clone, he's going by Will Harper now, so I guess he got to choose his own name. And I loved the whole thing. I hope about with Aquaman. They would have to go into it sooner or later. But I like that him and Artemis were both living together, taking care of little Leon Harper. Because that's, that's her dad and her aunt. And I think that's cute that they're living together in that way. They're not together, obviously. But I like that they're both taking care of her. So I like that. I like that they've given... Yeah, take that, Cry for Justice. Yeah, that comic was bullshit. I haven't read it, but I haven't heard anything good about it either, so I kind of don't want to read it. But I love that they gave Black Lightning more focus, and I love that they didn't do it in a way that's like, hey, he has a CW show now, we need to have him here. Because he was already in season 2. But I liked that. I love the new character Halo, and I hope we can, obviously we're gonna get more of her. What's Cry for Justice? Cry for Justice was a Justice League comic. Is that right, Tevye? Was it Justice League or was it Titans? And all that I know about Cry for Justice was that, in the comic, Roy Harper loses his hand and his baby daughter Leanne, or preschool daughter, Justice League Cry for Justice, okay. So all I know about it is that Roy Harper gets his hand cut off and baby Leanne Harper gets killed. Or preschool, how old was Leanne in that comic, Tevye? And it was bullshit, and it was horrible. It was them trying to pull this whole superheroes can never be happy shit. They fixed it in the Convergence, when they did the Convergence, I guess Convergence Titans, I think was the story. 8 years old, oh my gosh, this is... Do you feel bad for Roy Harper? Sorry, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. You weren't, you didn't know what it was. Did I have laughter trying to read it, Kim Best? Well, if it was stupidly written, I don't blame you if you were laughing, if you couldn't get that far into it. I think I remember it was Prometheus that killed her. S Convergent Science was really good. DC is insane sometimes. Yes, they are. But there was that. And there's been other stuff. Wally West scene. I have to watch that later. I think it was the scene where, when Artemis is looking at the picture of Wally. That was another thing that tugged at my heartstrings, was the ending scene, the credits scene of the first episode. That's interesting that they're doing that now with the credits, that each episode has a background or something, or has another clip during the credits or whatever, even if it's nothing in particular. But the first episode, I was almost in tears, because you see Wally and Artemis's dog, and he's snuggling next to a little like a little Kid Flash, like chew toy or Kid Flash plushie or something, and or a doll. Was it a doll? With the dog with the Kid Flash? Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're really tugging at my heartstrings, Greg Wiseman. And I guess I had a theory because somebody mentioned that the Flash this season was somehow Wally, but I'm going to have to correct or point out to the person that doesn't make full-on sense, because if he was alive, he would be with Artemis, and we didn't see him with Artemis. And then Beast Boy mentioned in the 3rd episode that he was with Perdita of Vladova, and I was like, that name's familiar. And then I remembered it was the girl that Kid Flash saved in season 1. The girl the queen that needed the heart transplant. I meant the Flash, not Kid Flash. Kid Flash this season I know is Bart Allen. Somebody mentioned that the Flash this season, that he's more he's more buff, and that his costume was different. And then somebody mentioned to me that the Flash this season somehow was Wally West, even though I know that isn't the case. And the Flash, even though the Flash didn't say anything in his cameo, the Flash is still Barry Allen. But I was like, and then part of me with the whole thing with the Perdita, and I was like, what? At first I was like, why is that name familiar? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, they brought back the girl that he saved in season 1, and she's dating Beast Boy, and I thought that was cute that they're together. It was just sad how they got together. I hear that the showrunner hated the idea of the Speed Force, so I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know. And part of me fears, because of all of the people that keep asking for it, I want Wally back. I'm pointing that out now. In recent years, he has had nothing. This was the only recurring thing he had. And I'm not counting CW Flash, because that was supposedly the new 52 Wally. But I feel like if he does do it, it might be, I don't know, because I feel like if he does it, it would be difficult. Like, he has like a plot in place, and I'm afraid that if he does bring him back, that it might disrupt something, or I'm afraid that if he brings him back, that they might kill somebody else off in Wally's place. That they'll bring Wally back, but they might kill off one of the other 6, like Superboy or Calder or somebody like that. And I don't want anybody else getting killed off. I think he's coming back. It's only a matter of time. But like I said, but I loved the episodes. They were great. I hate the fact I'm going to have to wait another week for 3 more episodes. But I already have a lot of other stuff going on, and a lot of other shows to watch, and comics to read and stuff, and it's been pretty hectic, everything going on, and it's hard to keep up when there's so many shows and stuff to watch. And I'm thinking when it gets close to when Reign of the Superman comes out on DC Universe, I'll watch Death of Superman, because I heard that was a really good film too. So I'm gonna keep this going for another minute to give everybody else time to catch up on the stream in the chat. But I'm gonna have to end this here soon, because my tablet is down to 2%. But I have had a great time talking to all of you, to Tevya and Nitro and Underworld Dream. It's been great. And I know that Tevya and Nitro are subscribed to me. Underworld Dream, are you subscribed to me? Are you still here? It's okay, man. Be safe. Superman Son's animated movie or anime series someday. I would love that too. Have a good time. Take care, man. Charge your tablet. But Jonathan, okay. Okay, so you are subscribed. Okay. Well, I hope next time I do one of these. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for being a subscriber. But I'm gonna probably I might do some more of these soon, because it's fun getting to talk about different, stuff, whether it's negative or positive. I love getting to talk to everybody and get to be, and talk to y'all in the comments. So as long as you join in, at least I have somebody to comment with, and it's not just me randomly talking about stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna end this now. How long have I been going? 1 hour and 35 minutes. Okay, well, y'all take care, and I'm gonna do one of these soon. So thank you all for joining, and I'm gonna wrap it up here. Okay.